Hello, viewers, and welcome to Africa and Beyond the Television Network. And we continue to take a look on what's happening in the nation of Zimbabwe without fear, without favor. At this point in time, the military penned a very, very long letter and warned civilians, and then say that they are not supposed to be wearing military fatigues. It has been confirmed by Nick Mangwana as well, as you can see right here onto the screen. This is Nick Mangwana, who is the government spokesperson. He issued this letter. So it's very, very important to note that this letter, it carries a lot, and so many questions are being asked at this point in time to say, why now? Why is it that the military is said to have issued a letter now? And we are going to look at some of the concerns which are on this letter, purported to be from the military. So the stamps are there, which shows that yes, it's from the military, and also confirmed by the Zimbabwean government spokesperson, which means it's authentic. So what this letter says is that the Zimbabwe Defense Forces is concerned by some recent utterances on social media made by some members of the public, including some retired members on their individual political and economic wishes on the situation in Zimbabwe, which may unfortunately be misconstrued to be the position of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. The public is hereby advised that the Zimbabwe Defense Forces have established channels of communicating with the public, and social media is not one of them. The Zimbabwe Defense Forces therefore disassociate themselves from all social media utterances emanating from the public, including some retired members. So this is the first point. The first point is they are making it clear that they have not issued any statement, and no one speaks on their behalf except maybe when they use their own channels. And then they noted further with concern the continued misuse of military uniform by some members of the public. And they are saying that the use or the abuse of the military uniform is an offense which prohibits and criminalizes the wearing of military uniform by individuals who are not members of the defense forces. Section 99(2)(c) of the Defense Act, Chapter 1102, further states that any person who, without authority, wears or uses any decoration supplied to or authorized for use by any member of the defense forces or other military forces of any decoration so nearly resembling such decoration to be likely to deceive shall be guilty of an offense. So this is where everything is right here, and a lot of questions would be asked to say, when they say nearly resembling, what does it mean? So they also say members of the public are therefore urged to desist from acquiring or wearing any items of military uniform or apparel resembling such. Those caught on the wrong side of the law will be prosecuted. And the letter continues in, let me see the other part of this letter, which is also important right here. So it continues right here, and let me try to zoom so that we can note the other parts of this letter. So they are saying that the public also is urged to report to the Zimbabwe Republic Police or Zimbabwe Military Police any persons seen wearing military uniforms outside cantonment and other designated areas, or those committing crimes on the pretext that they are members of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. In this regard, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces appeal to members of the public to report anyone known to be a civilian but wearing military uniform, or for whatever reason. And this is what is happening in Zimbabwe. This is what the military has said. So they've issued a statement right there, which is believed by a lot of people that maybe it's a warning to Comrade Geza or whatsoever. That is what a lot of people have believed from this statement. So a lot is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, particularly the political arena, and the issuance of this letter has raised a lot of questions than answers. When you look at it, usually there is the one anonzi, is it Kenel Alpheus Makotore, if I'm not mistaken about the rank, but it's called Alpheus Makotore. He's the one who usually issues these letters. But for the first time, and for also an unknown reason, this one was issued by one Anonzi Moyo. It was signed for Anonzi Moyo for Public Relations Department. So usually you could see the ranks of the person who issued this letter, but this time around it's not there. So since it has been shared by the government spokesperson, then everybody regards it as original as it is. The stamps are there, which means it's authentic. So this is what is happening in Zimbabwe, in the nation of Zimbabwe. And we do not know if whatever which this letter purports to mean, does it mean anything about Comrade Geza? I'm now giving my own views after whatever which we have seen. We have seen that Comrade Geza came in person and is well known in terms of his name and who he is. But this letter didn't dare to mention anything to do with Comrade Geza, something which a lot of people are asking questions to say, okay, why? And also, one thing which we need to note is that ZANU-PF always wear my uniform, Aero Picture Republic. That is ZANU-PF people for you, Barakash, wearing my trouser, a military. And they've been doing it with impunity. They've been doing it for a very long time without any consequences. So we can talk of anything, but ZANU-PF are the biggest abusers of the Zimbabwe military fatigues. It's rare to see anybody from the opposition wearing that. I haven't seen people from the opposition. These are ZANU-PF people. At a certain point in time, when and you ask questions with you, it happens. So these are the pictures of ZANU-PF people. I'm not so sure who is going to report these people to the police and also to the Zimbabwe military police, such that probably they get arrested for wearing military regalia, as the letter purports right there. So it can't start and ends with Comrade Geza. It must start from somewhere and then end somewhere. So I hope and believe Kuti, that is another case of abuse of military fatigues, which is right there on the screen. It's Christine and Vesano screener, which means that they might be answerable to the military if there is need. So this is it in Zimbabwe. The military issued a letter. This is the matter which we're talking about. This is the letter which was issued by the military, as well as confirmed by the Zimbabwe government spokesperson, Nick Mangwana. So it is what it is. It seems as if they indirectly touched some issues, probably Zinechekuita Namdara Geza, and also touched my issues Anechekuita both Kutaura and also Kupeka. But they distanced themselves from Comrade Geza without mentioning him. So that is what is very, very important, which means they didn't dismiss whatever which he said. They simply said those views are not their views. So a lot of people would miss that part. They say the views raised by anybody on social media are not their views, which means they didn't condemn him. And the only thing which they talked about is both retired and serving military people are not allowed to be seen with military fatigues outside their duty posts. So I think that law has been put in place for a very long time. We've seen it being enforced for the past few months or years. We've seen it happening. So this is it in Zimbabwe. Let us meet in other episodes as well as other